Okay, class, we are going to do a video on number 2 on creating customized tools in GeoGebra. So let's see how we can do a couple of tools in the same file. The first video was about doing a tool in general, but here you can kind of put many tools as you want in the same file. So I'm going to do two tools here, where we'll do construct a square given a side and given a circle. Okay? So our first tool will be constructing a square given a side. And what I need to do is to do the construction itself, and then I will form the tool. So given a side, constructing a square given a side, we need to start with our segment. Okay? And we'll show some of these labels. So here's A and B. Okay, so we need to construct a point up here again. So we do the perpendicular off of B, perpendicular line. Where we click on the point and on the line, or on the line and then on the point, we have our B. So let's zoom in here a little bit more. Okay, so once we have our B, we need to construct a point that's up here. And so we're going to use our circle to help to use the distance as make it the same as A to B. Okay, so let's try that circle. Well, that didn't quite get it. Let's go the other way. So escape out of this, click back on our circle, and go B to A. Good. So this point right here is going to be our new point for the third vertex. So we'll show that label. And we're going to do another point up here. So this point up here has to be the same distance from C and A. So because of that, we'll use our circles. Go from C down to B, and then we'll go from A over to B. And that intersection right here is our fourth vertex. And we'll do our show label on that one. Okay. So we have our square, and what we're going to do is we're going to do the segments. So AB is already a segment, so we need to go A to D segment and D to C segment. Okay. Let's go ahead and hide all the things that we don't need to make sure that we got all of the parts that we need. All the parts for our construction. Oops. Come on, there we go. That probably will be something we'll construct. We need one more segment here from C down to B. Okay, so here's our square. Before we create our tool, we're going to check the dynamic part of it, of this construction. So if we move A and B in and out, it gets smaller and bigger. The square gets smaller and bigger. Okay. I'm going to show labels on these segments so we know which ones they are. So label, that's going to be I. And we'll show label on this one, J. And we'll show label on this one, F. And this segment, show label on it is H. Okay. So I need the 2 points D and C in all 4 segments, F, H, I, J, and points A and B. So let's go ahead and create our tool. So go up to the Tools menu, create new tool, and the output objects, what we want to output, are going to be segment I, segment J, segment F, segment H. So I have our 4 segments. I need my points D and C. So point C and point D. Okay. So all these others are circles, and I'm not going to show them in the tool because I don't need the circles. I just need the sides and the 2 vertices. Okay. So input objects, we want to check to make sure it's A and B because those are our segments, so that I recognize those. Okay, so next is name and icon. So this is square given side. Okay. So we'll finish that. Okay, new tool created successfully. Click on my tool, and I can do squares given a side. Let's go ahead and do a second tool. and then we'll check them both. The second tool is going to be a square given a circle. Okay, so on this right side, I'm going to do a circle, and oops, I'm going to go the other way. So center is first, and I want to go out, maybe about right here for my circle. Okay? And so this is going to be one of my vertices. So I'm going to show that label, F, and I'll show the center, E. So notice that it's continuing on the labeling system. So that's F, because I did A, B, C, D here. So F and E and F here. Okay. So continuing label system. This will be the one vertex of my square. Okay. And so I need to do get the other vertices of the square. I'll use that doing diagonals again. So I'll click on F to E, get a line. Then we'll construct a point, the next point out here, and we'll label that. So label point G. And then I'm going to construct the perpendicular to this line that I did through the center, so I can get this vertex and this vertex out here. So we'll construct our perpendicular. So click on the point and on the line, and it will appear there. Let's construct our intersections. Let's show our labels. H and I. Okay, here we go. H and I. Now we can construct the segments that we need in our line menu. F, I, G, G, H, and H, F. Okay. So I'm going to use my move tool to kind of straighten it out, but it's a square, so it's okay if it's not super straight. Now we're going to get rid of the parts that we don't want so that we can see just what parts we can select for our tool. Okay, so here's our square and our circle. We need to construct the circle, of course, so let's show that label. Show label on the circle, and that's circle K. Kind of funny. And we have these segments here. We have the points are already labeled, R and P, Q, and N. Okay, so we need those segments in our tool. Circle K, points I, G, H. Okay, so we're going to go to our Tools menu, create new tool. Oops, let me get that. Tools menu, create new tool. Okay, so if we have an object already selected, then that will pop up in our output. So I want to just double check my output with the things on the list. Now this list has everything available to us from even the first construction. So we want to make sure that with this construction we get the right points in. We need circle K. We need segment R and Q, just kind of going around the square, and P and N. And we need points H and G and I, and F is not on here. Yeah, so that's part of their construction. So E and F are inputs, so that it knows that. So double check that. So click on name and icon. This is square in given circle. Okay. And so we press finish, and new tool is created successfully. Okay, so we got two tools in our menu. Okay, circle given square given circle, square given side. So let's click on this one, square given side, and try testing it. So I'm going to zoom out and give some little squares here. So they're all created nice. Okay, so you can just like do little squares. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do the next tool. So click on our tool menu and square given circle. So we click to see if this tool is created fine. Yeah, and it was. Okay, so you just like do little ones and big ones, diagonal ones, straight ones. Okay. All right, so it looks like we got them.